Welcome everybody to Double Trouble Up Entertainment. Benji, my twin Moshe. Today we have a guest, as you guys know her as the Flatbush girl. Today we want to talk about the Aguna situation that's going on in the Frum community.
Explain what's an Aguna, Benji.
An Aguna is that a man that doesn't give his wife a get.
I'll explain it better. Basically, when we marry a woman, we have her release. She cannot. So let's say we decide to get divorced, and I don't give her the divorce, which is called the get. I can go on with my life and get remarried, and she's stuck to me till I give her release. And Adina here, who came all the way from Brooklyn, we appreciate it.
So far away, I'm telling you.
Is fighting for the women who are being held hostage by their men, who are not even called men. Unfortunately, I don't want to say the word, but you know what they are.
Just say it.
I'm not going to say the bad word on live, but they're not real men, and they're holding while they move down with other women or whatever they're doing, they hold their women hostage. Either they demand money, extort them for something in order to give them their release. So we're going to be talking about that today. I'm sure it's going to hurt a lot of people, but that's the truth always hurts. So Adina, the floor is yours. She's Flatbush Girl on Instagram if you guys want to follow her. She does a lot of good for the woman. And let's go. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Well, Benji, do you want to say anything first? I didn't hear your thoughts on the matter initially. I would love to hear what you have to say.
Oh, I think it's wrong to hold a woman. The first thing you got to do is release the woman, and then you guys can fight whatever you want to fight about. Holding a woman hostage with a get is wrong. But I also agree that when women play with a guy, when it comes to the kids, you're not going to see this, not going to see that. It's wrong too. Two wrongs don't make a right. That's why I think that a man and a woman should stay. Listen, I got divorced and I have kids involved in a divorce. And the only people who made money from it are their attorneys, not me and not my ex. And that's my belief. You should never hold a woman. And you know what? I gave the get. You got to be close to the mic. I gave the get, and then we still went to court, and it's fine because she has the right to move on with her life.
Right.
Holding a woman hostage is I think it's a power trip. Some men have power trips, and that they have to dominate the woman or think that they're better than them, and that women don't have a right to have an opinion and stuff like that. And I don't agree with that. But again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? I'm sure people are like, what are you talking about? Men are supposed to, which is fine. But you can never hold a woman hostage from her freedoms to move on from you. If she doesn't want you, why the hell do you want her still? That's what I believe. You don't want me? Okay, let's finish this nicely and let's move on. Are you forcing yourself upon her? She doesn't want you anymore. But again, I believe the woman has the same responsibility when it comes to, dangling the kids in front of the man. So it's a two-way street.
So when I was just starting out my marriage, I'm married for over 18 years, actually.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I'm married since I'm 18. I'm 36. We know chai plus chai is 36. It's the easy one. And, I got lucky. I'm not going to say, yes, of course, we get credit for working, for constantly working on things, but we also got lucky.
Right.
And, my friends would always tell me things like, oh, they're looking for a guy that's going to open the door for them. Someone's going to take care of them. And I'm like, are you a fool? Like, it's such a marketing scam. It's a bait and switch. They open the door. They make you let down your guard. You become all friendly and comfortable. And then when you're not looking, they change. And it's not something I'm saying that wouldn't happen necessarily the other way. I think when we look for a partner to take care of us, I think it's a dangerous thing. I think that marriages should be partnerships, people who are two equals. I think that both people should be trying their best to contribute financially, emotionally to the kids. And my friends would say but you're missing out on the door being opened for you. And so I would just say exactly what you said. The get is something that both parties have a responsibility to give and take without any conditions.
Correct. What brings her here today?
Wait. She said something very important.
Okay.
the men and women should be equal at 100%. Correct. I never opened the door for a woman in my life because I told her I'll never do this for you my whole life, so I'm not starting with that.
Good.
Never in my life have I, because I'm not doing it forever. And maybe there's some men that do, most don't. Okay,
whoever does it, good for them.
Good. Okay,
If it
listen.
works for
There's
them.
always there's always one in a million that does things. You understand? But most people won't do it. It's not out of disrespect because it's just like, okay, you're trying to impress. Don't impress. Hey, this is me. You like me, take me. You don't like me, let's move on. I'm a big believer also you say on the first date everything that you got to say and not let the woman reel her in and say, oh, by the way, A, B, C, D, but now she's in love with you. Now what's the situation? So that's also very, very, very important. The get is what I think gives the
man the upper hand.
like kind of control, like, oh yeah, you're not going to do this, I'm not going to give you a get. And that I believe is 1,000% wrong. And anybody that says, hey, they have to negotiate it. No one negotiates freedom.
How many cases do you have that you know that men are holding their woman?
So in terms of the estimate that some of the most scholarly people in this field have guesstimated, because it's very hard to do statistical research on numbers. The guesstimate is that there's about 2,000 agunas worldwide.
Holy
Some of them may not even know for sure that they are agunas. Maybe they were married with a ketubah, but then at the end they just didn't have a rabbi or a spiritual leader who told them about the importance of the get spiritually. And there's a lot of Kabbalistic and beautiful things about the get. That's why I'm fighting to help fix it, not to destroy it. And then, of course, what was I saying? That I lost my train of thought.
No, about the get. How many agunas are around?
Oh, right. So there's like about 2,000 worldwide. And then how many cases
That
I'm
you know.
working on
Yeah, you're working.
myself. I have my hands in some form of another, whether it's a pinky or all 10 fingers, in about 30 cases at the moment.
Jesus, in your
And
area.
So no, it's they're all over. London, Antwerp, Israel, New Jersey, Brooklyn. We're talking people who are modern and don't cover their hair and wear pants. We're talking about girls who are not allowed to drive and shave their heads. It goes all the way from the right to all the way to the left. It's a systemic issue, just like the Percocet crisis. It's the same concept. It's affecting everyone. It's affecting professionals. It's affecting people who are poor. It's affecting people who are educated. It's affecting everyone.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't a woman just get up and go?
And
That's
go
what-
where?
If I was a woman, you know what I would do if somebody held me? I'm just going to go. And God is going to understand. Now, honestly, I'm being straight up with you. Why don't women just get up and go? And then if a man sees that a woman doesn't care, he'll give it to her. The men react because she's giving him a reaction. So probably he's obsessed with that control. So he's doing it more. If she says, you know what? I don't even want it. I'm going to go and move out with my life. I know it's halachically incorrect, but I'm saying there's something we need to do to fix this system that they have. Right? What do you think?
So I have a few responses to that.
Okay.
So first of all, you are you're a very self-aware and evolved person. You've used your experiences and your traumas to grow and become a more evolved version of yourself. Some people don't have that courage. Some people don't have a sibling that they can partner with on that journey to give them that comfort and that support. So some people, whether they want to leave or not, they're too afraid to leave.
Right.
Maybe they're making money as a teacher in a Beis Yaakov
Correct.
and their finances are threatened, or their family will turn on them and try to figure out a way to take the kids away because now they're not a good source of Yiddishkeit for the children.
Or she's just comfortable living, and the husband's making a lot of money, and she's comfortable.
No, I'm talking about goodness.
Where are they going to go to?
Yeah, but
She moves on. She gets a boyfriend, moves on.
You can't.
I-
When you're from, you can't.
That's the no.
You're
But she's
us
saying
on
also
both.
secular.
exactly,
Yeah,
you're
but-
usher on both. That's
I
great.
know you're also on both.
but-
I know, but
but
we
the
have to find a way to fix this, right? To keep on. If you give the man full control, and I'm a man, I'm pro. Okay, a man should be a little more than a woman. Fine, but when she wants out, you give her a release. You tell her, no problem. You figure it out like adults. Because you know who ends up suffering? The children.
The kids always
The kids
suffer
end
the
up
most.
with psychological issues, emotional issues, commitment issues, not
Yeah.
trusting anybody when that happens. You understand? So we have to find a way. listen, I think I came up with an idea. You correct me if I'm wrong. I think today, before every marriage, you should go to a beddin, to a court, a Jewish court, leave a get in there. Both agree to it before because they're both in lovey-dovey stage. And whenever she wants out and they agree, she can go pick it up.
So according to Gittin, we're not allowed to give a get unless at the moment we give it, we mean it 100%.
But that's what they did when they went to war.
That was because it was a get al tanai and there was an expiration date and they already appointed a shaliach to execute it. It's very halachically complicated.
I figured.
How convenient. But I want
But we got to find solutions how to kind of stop this.
What do you, as a
going
woman,
on.
what do you think should be done?
So there's a bunch of things that have already been in play in order to try to minimize the number of agonas. We're never going to be able to cure it. We're just going to be able to mitigate and diminish the number of victims. So one is the preventative measure of a halachic prenup. It's not an automatic get. All it is that from the day the Beit Din says that he needs to give a get till the day he gives it, there's a daily financial disincentive rate that's associated with his wages, with his
so he pays like a fee.
He's paying a knas.
What if he doesn't pay?
We know
Very
the knas.
smart.
What if he doesn't pay though?
Then she can get a legal judgment against him.
Of course,
and
it's arbitration, Moshe.
Or they put him in
So I'll
chayim.
tell you what happened. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
So
no,
when me and whatever we got divorced, right? You gave the get, and then we had an agreement in Besdin, right? And then she came to court and she told the court, yeah, his father's the rabbi. He bribed the judges, this and that. And the judge went at her. What are you crazy? It's arbitration. I have to approve it because it's arbitration. We can't. You guys came to a committed agreement. So that's what she's saying. So basically, if you go to court with a Besdin psak, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're arbitrated. You're gonna have to pay it.
So the
It's a
Jewish
legally
so the
binding
Jewish court,
agreement.
the secular court
recognizes it and will
Of course,
enforce
if
it.
in New York State a ketubah is considered a marriage license, you know that.
Yeah, but not for like.
When you get divorced in New York State,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if you didn't get married legally, you're considered married if you're married religiously.
Even if you're not married, there is like domestic partnerships, and if you have children, the guy's still on the
But
line.
alimony and child support, a ketubah is enough.
Yeah, sure.
For alimony and child support, even if you didn't get married legally, and she has a ketubah, it's enough in the court of law.
It still takes time,
Right.
though. Like, you still have to file a thing
Right.
and explain how it's the same thing. You can't just, like, walk in and be like, we're married, because then their side is going to challenge it. So everything can be done in theory. It's all about how much money do you have to fight.
That's where it comes down to.
And so here's the issue with the halachic prenup. It was helping a lot of people because it was forcing young couples to have important conversations with each other. And sometimes just being on the same page, like you said, Benji, how just being upfront and transparent and honest from the beginning is the best policy. So couples were having conversations about what would happen if they ever got divorced. And that in of itself was just creating more harmony when it came to the get. But for the women who don't have money to enforce the judgment, to work their way through the courts, to force the judgment, to put a lien on his assets, to garnish his wages, to take the money from his retirement fund. I worked with an aguna she was an aguna for 7 years. I came into the case and she had a $95,000 judgment against him because he had signed a halachic prenup. And for 7 years, he still didn't give a get.
That's crazy.
She ended up getting the money out of his retirement fund. And you know what he said? Now that you did that, I'm never giving a get.
Is she still? This is her?
Yeah.
This is Goldie?
Oh, no, this is another.
No,
this
these
is
guys have a
this is another
retirement
situation.
fund.
No, I'm not talking about this case. Also, publicly,
It's
so
just,
he.
yeah,
so
we're
Yigal
talking
can hear it.
generally. I'm talking generally.
I also want to talk about his case.
Yes,
I
we should
want
definitely
I want
talk
to get
about
out
his
there. I
case.
want him to know that we
Yes.
all know what he's doing.
I warned him. So I've been messaging Yitzchak as soon as I got involved in this case.
Egal.
Igal.
His name is Yigal Rubino.
Yigal Yitzchak Rubinov.
Oh, so his real name is Yigal?
Yigal
So his
Yitzchak.
first name
you're
is
right.
Yigal, right? I
You're
remember
right.
him as Yigal
I know him.
Rubinov growing
He's
up.
one of my. Well, let's not
probably
jump.
remembered
Finish
it
what
'cause
I
it's
said,
your father's name.
Finish what I don't want to jump off top.
Yeah,
then we're
that's
going to go
fine.
into this whole conversation.
sure,
I wanted to bring it in the story.
So whenever
So that's one thing.
Whenever I get involved, you want to go back to the other preventative measures
Let's
first?
yes.
Okay. So we have the halachic prenup. We also have something called, and this is a weird one, a lot of people don't know about it. It's called bittul kedushin. It means that you can nullify and void the ketubah retroactively the same way you would do it if someone sold you a commercial building and they didn't disclaim the fact that there were termites in the basement that they knew about or that other people knew about.
Basically, the Rav that was Mekadesh is no bueno.
multiple. There's multiple things.
The way they spell.
There's
this,
different.
that.
There's a bunch of. It's like getting out of a parking ticket. There's a way, and it takes a lot of skill, and it takes broad shoulders, because a lot of rabbis, even though this has been done since the 11th century, Rav Moshe Feinstein did Bittul Kedushin. Rav Gedalia Dov Schwartz of the CRC, he's the Av based in the Chicago Rabbinical Council, did multiple Bittul Kedushins. It's not like a brand new modern day thing. It's not a new thing. It's an old thing. They have different methodologies and protocols that they can use to do it. But in the last 50 years, the Hasidish Dayanim all got together, group of 100 guys. They wrote a sefer this big, and they wrote, "You're never allowed to do Bittul Kedushin again." And they came up a bunch of reasons. It's like she's married. The new kids she's going to have are going to be considered mamzerim. Mamzerim are bastards. Our bloodline is going to be spoiled. There's a lot of obsessiveness with like purity of blood.
So give your wife a get, and there won't be anything. That's what shall we write back in the you didn't write a whole book. Write back. Well, release us, and there won't be bastards. Or we won't do it anymore.
Only it were that simple when it comes to a guy that won't give a get. It's very similar to Hamas. They will not let go. Even when they're losing, even when they're on the floor, their last breath, they hold the get.
That's insane.
They don't want to give it.
That's insane.
They get a fixation in their mind.
I don't get it.
I never understood it. Never.
So that's what Yitzchak is currently doing. And then there was a third thing there are some laws in place that could potentially, maybe if the woman portrays it as coercive control, it could be a form of domestic abuse. It takes forever. You need at least 50 grand for a retainer for a lawyer.
Right.
Like, good luck. And then you have people like me who come in and say, you know what? We can't use physical force anymore these days, but you know what we could do? We could do digital force. We could do educating the community to the point where the person feels shame and embarrassment and has a time to do teshuvah. Even if you're a Jew who doesn't keep Shabbos or Kashrus, it doesn't matter. We believe in teshuvah till it's part of our neshama.
Right.
A person can change in one day if he wants to. Haman could have done teshuvah one morning. He did it. That's why he suffered. And I call every single get withholder. I call their family. I send text messages. I send emails. And this is after there's already a Sira from Beis Din, or more than one Beis Din. He knows. He's on high alert already. But I come in and I give more warnings. And I say, it's very simple. We can use your case to show what the crisis is all about. Or you could give a get and no one will ever know we spoke.
Yeah.
Do they even reply?
So a lot of them just block, and a lot of them, everyone's different. Some of them are like, haha, bring it on. Those are my favorites. They're like, bring it on. I can't wait. And I'm like, okay.
You know what? I realized that humanity likes fighting,
Drama.
arguing, and stuff like that. And I used to love it too. And the whole thing I work on myself right now is to stay away from conflicts and and because I realized that people thrive on conflict.
What's the story you're working on now? Please explain to us, to everybody, what's the story, how we met. Explain the story where.
Well, let's start from the beginning of Goldie and Yitzchak, and I'll try to say the cliff notes of it. They dated for about 6 weeks. They saw each other about once a week. He never called her.
Right.
She thought that he was a tzaddik who was very obsessed with tznius.
What he do? You know what he did?
He's a big. What do you mean? He was considered a very, very big sofer.
He was a sofer.
Exactly. He was trained by Tamayov.
I know. I remember so basically, guys, I want to say.
Hold on. Don't forget, you see, we grew up in the house that my dad is their leader. Okay? And my dad was so powerful back then that when he said, hey man, jump, the only question they asked is how high. No one ever questioned his authority. And we watched how people were just considered, and people were hiding behind. Like we would go to we were getting older in our teens, and we're like, wait, this guy davened in shul, but then he's doing this behind
You saw the bullshit firsthand.
Right.
They're wearing a costume, right?
Right.
You
hiding behind the front,
right,
behind the religion to show that they're good people. They get married, and then, so Yitzchak basically was in my father's school, got smicha there. He was writing Sefer Torahs and Tefillin. He was a sofer. He married Goldie after 6 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
My father made the shidduch. My father married them off. Okay,
He
let's
was
continue.
also, from what I heard from other Dayanim, that he was also very lebedik and involved in the simcha of the wedding. It felt like he was marrying off like a nephew, your father.
Yeah, it's his children.
He was very
They're
into
his
it.
kids. Okay, so listen, what he did for the Bukharan community, nobody did. He took these guys that fell off a boat, seriously,
public
immigrants,
school, yeah, okay.
and just and
You're
made
right.
them where they are now. Everybody in the end of the day chooses the path they want to take, right? And I guess Yigal chose whatever his name is, Yitzchak. I forgot.
Yigal Yitzchak Rubino is his name. Yitzchak, if you're listening and you're watching, let her go.
He is.
Let her go. Let her go. You know us since we're children. We used to learn together. I have a little bit back in the day. Let her go.
He wants something for letting her go. He believes that
How much does he want?
He wants $150,000 minimum.
Okay, Yigal
And
called
that's
me.
coming
Okay.
down from $1 million over the years.
So can I tell
He's
you-
only at 150 because the Sigater Rav, Rev Zalman Leib's son, Rev Yaakov Ber in Williamsburg, had a meeting with Rabbi Desser and Yitzchak, where Rabbi Desser said, "What do? We thought we would get more money. We wanted $1 million. It's 7 years later. We still never got anything, and now they're pressuring us publicly to give a get. But we need a safe face. We're embarrassed. What should we do?"
Give the get.
So, but you know what the Sigat Rav said? What does he want? So he says, "We need money. Can you give the money?"
So it's like
says,
he has rabbis. So guys, sorry, we're jumping
Yeah.
ship. This guy's not giving his wife his get, Goldie, for 7 years. 6 years, 5 years, even 1 day, still disgusting. So basically, that's what's the story. That's how we met. I met her I saw it, and then we connected on. I'm not going to talk about it on live. How we connected doesn't
Well,
matter.
no, let's talk about
Doesn't
it.
matter. And then I'm trying to help as much as I can, even though I'm not part of this community anymore. Thank God, because after what I see, what these rabbis are doing to these poor women,
But
unfortunately,
we need
sorry.
you.
not all of them,
But we
Marsh.
need your help.
It's most of them. It's most of them. So now again, so he's
the
not.
more-
Yitzchak is not giving Goldie a get because he wants money.
He wants money.
So he has rabbis enabling him.
Yes, he has multiple rabbis enabling.
Rabbis should be ashamed of yourself for enabling a man who probably would have gave a get without your stupid advice. Because I know him as a man; he was always quiet and he was always edel. He was always a humble kid. You probably enabling him. And now Goldie is not released because you schmucks are more worried about money than about a woman who has how many children?
She has 4 children. She has She has 3 children and one adopted child that came in from.
God bless her.
Yeah. She takes care.
She has 4 children,
Yes.
and this schmuck is not letting her get remarried. And even if she doesn't get remarried, just let her go. I don't know how you rabbis go to shul, klap al chet on Yom Kippur, daven, look in God's eyes every Shabbos. You guys should just go eat on Yom Kippur. I promise you, you're not gonna. It's worse what you're doing now than eating on Yom Kippur. To all the people who are so-called religious, I'm sick and tired of this bullshit that these rabbis control these students and telling them what to do. You have daughters, rabbis who are enabling him. You can say the names. I don't know them. I don't care about them. You have daughters. Imagine your son-in-law did that to your daughter. And you know what? The world is round. Your son-in-law, your grandson-in-law might do it to your grandkids. And then what are you gonna do? You're going to beat him? You're going to use the method of the religion? Then you guys going to beat him? Why don't you beat Yitzchak to give a get?
So,
How do you enable somebody for $150,000? She can't even afford it.
She can
So I'll
barely
give
pay
you
her
the
bills.
rebuttal I got, right? So, someone reached out to me someone sent me a video, like, dude, do you know this guy? And I'm like, oh my God, that's
Yitzchak.
Abba's student.
Yeah.
And Abba was in Israel. And I called Dad, and Dad's like, Benji, this thing is so messy. He's like, the Hasidim are involved. They're holding me hostage. They're holding everybody hostage.
Don't hold hostage.
Hold on. And then, they got Rabbi Olba, even Rebbetzin Olba came to the house. And basically, so this is their taina, right?
The reasoning.
Listen, you have to say their taina because you want people to think that we're just sitting here and bashing
What's-
everybody.
what's
I'll
their
tell you what their
reasoning?
taina is. I'll tell
What's
you what
the
Dad told me their
reasoning?
taina is.
And I
And
know
it's,
that's fair.
by the way, it's still wrong.
Right. No.
What's the
No
reason?
matter what the taina is,
That
it's
he
still
asked
wrong.
not to go to court and he went.
Yeah, so the asked not to go to court and he went, and then she dingled the kids in front of him, and then she put him in debt $250,000.
That's not okay.
Well,
so if you would
I
have
have
released
the
him in the
facts,
beginning,
But I have the facts.
go ahead.
Right.
please.
So again, but you know what? But you know what I said? I said, okay, but what does that have to do with giving the get? That's all I said. What does that have to do with giving the get? You're right. You're 100% right. This and that. The Hasidim are involved. I'm not getting involved with them. And I told my dad, I said, listen, I think it's wrong for what you're doing. You have to get involved. And then he ended up telling me, I'm going to get involved with it, and that's it. But then I stepped away from it because I'm like, you know what? I can't really do any change over here. I can't. And
Well, you're doing it the way you can. You're using your platform.
That's what I.
yeah, because I have a
Thank God I
daughter.
thought
I
about
have
it.
2 daughters,
Yeah.
and I don't need.
No, but I don't understand how these rabbis can enable him not to give a get. Forget the reasoning. So he took her to court, so she has
But
to.
it's not even true. Rabbi Sh, who was the one who's enabling Yitzchak at the moment.
He's enabling you.
The one who's been on the bad side.
You mean Shia Desser?
Oh, I'm
he's
sorry.
not-
What did I say?
He's not a rabbi.
Rabbi Shia does well.
He's not a rabbi.
So I will
That's
tell you a
not
little
right.
trick I've learned because I've had to become a little bit of a mini lawyer over the last few years. I've gotten many cease and desists and wound up in court with many guys suing
Really?
me for defamation,
Why
and slander
defamation?
and harassment and libel. And something I've learned is the fact that if we use the word rabbi, then we are criticizing a person in power. So we're going to leave the word rabbi there.
Exactly. Exactly. So you well said.
Which is so interesting how Hashem runs the world. Like the very thing that he used for his ego and his gaiva is now being used to allow us to attack him.
Correct.
Right.
100%. That's how God runs the world beautifully. So this Shia Desser guy is telling
So he was
Yitzchak,
always involved with the couple. He was, Yitzchak grew up without a mother. He lost his mother when he was very
Yes,
little. He
I
grew up
know.
in foster care. Let's take a moment.
He's not a leader too. He's a big follower. He's not a leader type of
He has
person.
no backbone, basically, so they're
he's
enabling
he's
him.
very
coward.
what?
He's
yeah.
a cowardly kind of get withholder. There's different types.
Right.
There's the angry one. Very often there's the cowardly one. He just can't face reality.
Exactly. No, I think their rabbis are
can't
enabling
own
him,
up.
telling him, don't do it, you'll get what
Yes.
you want, don't do it. And he listens like an idiot. Come on, he's like, you're smarter than that. Yeah, I'm saying, how do you guys go to shul on Shabbos? How do you guys go to shul on Yom Kippur? How do you look at your children?
He's been welcomed in by so many people. So many people still hosted him for Shabbos meals.
Of course, because
they allowed him to daven. They give him free food, and they give him, they clothe him. These are literally the things that
This
you're not
is
allowed
what's
to do.
wrong with
That's what Harchakos Rabbeinu Tam is. Harchakos Rabbeinu Tam is we do not socialize with them until they come to base.
This is why I call religion politics.
Oh wait, he didn't even show up to
Understand
Bezdin. This guy.
Oh, he didn't. Well, so what happened was they signed. So Shia Desser had been, a good family friend. He almost gave Yitzchak a lot of, support as he was a bacher. He was
Yeah,
at
they
their
helped
wedding.
him, they clothed him, they took care of him. I know, I
It was
remember
like
this.
a surrogate little uncle situation. And when the marriage started to deteriorate, of course, Shia Desser was protecting Yitzchak as much as possible, even though Goldie walked in on him having sex with a guy from Craigslist. Yikes.
Oh my God.
Sorry. So because of that, and she approached him and she said, did you know? Did you know when you married me? And he said, I did. So why did you marry me? I thought that, it would go away and I would just daven and we'll work it out.
Wait. Who was banging the guy?
He was. The reason we got
Shia or
upset.
Yitzchak?
Oh, I'm sorry, Yitzchak.
No, fuck man. No.
He thought
The reason we were able to obtain a psak chayav lagarish, which is basically a decree from the rabbis that he must give his wife a get, is because I brought 2 Adim to Beis Din who said that they slept with him.
Jewish, religious.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. They were very brave. And by the way, there was no judgmentalness. The Dayanim were so respectful. They looked a little like they didn't know what to do, but
It's
they
reality.
were very respectful.
It's reality. It's
No
something you can
way,
do.
dude, I can't
Sure.
believe
Yeah, so when you expose a woman to STDs and you expose a woman to being, disrespected like this, bringing strangers into a home.
Whoa.
You didn't
Yo,
know
you're
this?
dropping freaking bomb
I
after
am?
bomb over here. Hold on.
This is normal.
Whoa.
This is everyday
Whoa.
life in the Agana
Hold on,
crisis.
hold on.
It's public
He
information.
gave her, hold on. So he's banging men in the tush, you're saying? Is
Well,
he giving it or receiving it?
I don't know.
Who cares that he's giving it or
And-
receiving it?
And then number 2, he's what? He gave his wife an STD?
No, I didn't say he gave his wife an STD. What I said is that by doing these behaviors and meeting strange people on Craigslist without practicing safe sex.
Wait, Moshe, you believe this guy was
Well, I have the ads. I have the ads.
Gayer, that's not my problem.
Everything
She
I
has-
say, I have screenshots, pictures, evidence. If I didn't, I could get sued. We have pictures of his Craigslist. We have pictures of his Grinder accounts. His
Grinder?
Of course, we have pictures of guys who he was with, and we also have conversations where his friends told him, just give your wife a get if this is what you're going through. And he said, and he spoke about the things he likes with men. You can share the screenshots; they're public already. They've been shared dozens of times.
And what does Shia Desser say about it?
She just says it's a lie. It's not true.
That's the problem with these rabbis. Benji, you show them proof like this, they say it's not. It wasn't me. Shaggy, it wasn't me. Huh? Remember that song? It wasn't me?
Yeah, but you see,
Oh my
but
God.
listen, and this is what I learned as I'm getting older. right? And you're gonna, because you always realize things after I realize things, because that's the way we are.
Really? Are you the Bachar?
No, he is. But I'm the leader in the pack.
By how many minutes?
By a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm the leader in the pack, and
He's leader in one part. I lead in the other part. We both like.
but he I was also like that. And then I realized that the couple of bad apples doesn't make our beautiful religion. Whatever it is, it's these little things that we're trying to perfect to make it even more beautiful.
For religion.
No. No, these bad apples took the religion and made it into a business and took it the way they wanted to take it. No. Look, Moshe.
They should find a way to release a woman.
Moshe, in
It's
the Torah,
2024.
if you
find a heter that a woman can get the fuck out. Excuse my language. Whatever the hell she
But
wants.
Gittin is very nice.
But-
The get is a beautiful
I know.
thing.
correct.
I
What
gave
do you mean?
a
It's a
get.
mitzvah.
It's a mitzvah, exactly.
It's-
I gave
one
a
of the
get.
Taryagis-
We both gave
That's
gets.
a huge mitzvah.
And I give a get more than once. But I'm just saying, and I'm proud about it. I'm not embarrassed about it because
I gave a
look,
get. I paid for
hello,
a ticket.
simple
I took her to the
example.
airport. Sent it to Israel. Said I'm sorry. Today, our families are. I'm still friends with her cousin.
That's
Nicely.
why. That's why.
Didn't work
Be a
out.
mensch.
I left religion. She wants to stay religious. No problem. Bye bye.
But we can't shame Yiddishkeit because of a couple of bad apples, Moshe. That's what
they're
we
the
sa-
leaders. They're
But
the
Moshe,
leaders.
when you sound like that, then people discredit everything we're
I
trying to
don't
do.
think he was criticizing.
I'm not
the
criticizing
general
religion.
There's
I'm
some
criticizing
rabbis,
these rabbis.
Yes, there's some rabbi. You know what I tell everybody? When people are like, dude, you think Hashem wants this from us right now? You think Hashem wants this from us right now? No, like that's why I would tell like Yitzchak, dude, you think Hashem wants you to write all your self time and go to the mikveh before every Yud Kei Vav Kei? No. Stop banging whatever you're doing in the tush and give your wife a
Do whatever
get
you
and go on
want.
with
Just
your
let her
thing.
go.
But
Exactly.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Bang on the tush.
Do
Eat on
whatever
Yom
you want.
Kippur.
As
do
long
tell-
as there's
let her
consent,
go.
do whatever you want.
Let her
But this
go.
will only stop when we stop living in the lie that we live in. Meaning that people act different in their neighborhoods and then they go away and they act different when they're away. Like people will eat OU, like Hasidim won't eat OU in Bar Park in Williamsburg, but they'll eat it when they're on vacation. Like, oh, Hashem's not looking now? Like that's the whole thing. When we don't fear
know if
God.
everyone is like, I don't think everyone is asynchronized with their Yiddishkeit. I think there are a lot of people who are actually very thorough.
Yeah, but
It's just very rare.
very rare.
Well, not very rare. You think it's more than 50% who live this double life you're talking about?
No.
50%.
You think 50.
Yeah.
More.
You think more.
No.
Not double. I think people are scared to live their life because of what the community is going to do to them. Scared.
That's for sure.
Scared. Like
That's for sure.
one thing I did when I learned on myself is to live the life I want to live. And listen, my father's a huge leader in the community. Like Rabbi Sh, these guys are. My father's here in Queens. My father has students upon students upon students.
I mean, almost every Bukharian rabbi is from Hava.
I chose to leave because I'm not. In the beginning, I was scared for 10 years. I was living like
Right.
in the closet, as they say. But like, you know what? I have to answer tomorrow to God, to Hashem, not to nobody else. So I did what I needed to do. But how many people are scared? How many times did I go out and I see these people in a place where they're not supposed to be? And I asked him, what are you doing? He goes, Moshe, I'm scared. I wish I could live like you, but we're scared because they're gonna threaten our children out of yeshivas. They're gonna take our wives from us. They're gonna do this. But why? Why work with these threats? Why can we? We're in 2024. Let's work with.
Because not everybody thinks like and acts like you.
It's supposed to be loving. Religion
everybody
is
thinks and
loving.
acts like
God
you.
is loving, right?
But most human beings are not
They're
leaders
safe,
in nature.
people
so
like
you have
the
to
safety
right.
of being
Community.
part of the flock.
Community, right?
There's a lot of safety in being a sheep. It doesn't mean that you're stupid.
You're right. You're right.
It
You're
means
right.
that
You're
you
right.
want to you want to be relaxed. You don't always want to be fighting. I fight 20 hours a day. It takes a toll.
Good
on
for you.
Good for them also that they, they've chosen a life for them where
The
they.
rabbis call, say she's
if
crazy, she's
everybody-
crazy. Don't talk to her. I say, you know what? I spoke to her. Okay, we yelled, we got into a little argument, but you know what? What I tell you when I first called you, I'm on your side. I'm 100% on your side. I hate what they're doing. I hate the control aspect. I hate how they control.
Well, you got the Psak Chayav Lagarish thing signed. That was amazing. You know, many rabbis tried to get it done, and you got it done.
I got it.
You
I don't know
got
what
the
I did.
schus, you got the schar of something that 20 other rabbis couldn't do.
Because they don't care.
No, they cared. They really tried. They couldn't get through to him.
To who?
To your father.
We get through to my father. I mean, it's hard for me too. I just showed up at the house.
But that's the thing. I mean,
If I need to reach my dad, I call my mom. My mom always picks up on me. I'm mama's boy, so I call mom and say, Ma, I need this.
No,
She's
so
like,
I tell you what dad is up to.
my
right
father
now.
don't want to get involved.
He's staying away. Listen, my dad is.
But I said, Dad, no, just sign.
Listen,
Just
he's
sign. You're 75 years old. Nothing's gonna happen to you. They can't ruin your career already. Your career
but-
is reaching an end, right? No, but you should live a long life, healthy. But you're not 45 where you're in the brunt. You're already in the end side. What are they gonna do?
But if he got this get, do you know that his whole name would be re-elevated back to the biggest days of glory? If he just gets
I'm
this
sure
battle straight, you know how much
I'll get the
media
get.
attention. If whoever gets
I'll get
this
the get. I will get the get.
It's like you won a battle that no one else could solve.
I don't, if you can let me sit with him and this Rabbi Desser, I would go and sit with them.
They won't sit with you.
Okay, that's the problem. If they sit with me, I'll
And
get
they'll
the
sit
get.
with you and they'll say 150.
No.
Oh, then you don't get the get.
Well, put me in the meeting. Let me sit. You guys have balls, come meet me. I'll come meet you. I'll come to you. Rabbi Shia Desser, Rabbi, whatever you call yourself. Yitzchak, you know me since I'm a baby. Be a man. Make a meeting. I'll call my twin brother. No rabbis involved. And talk to me like a man. Tell me why you don't want to give her a get. I want to hear your
150.
reasoning. I'm not paying 150. We're not paying a penny.
Okay, so what will you pay?
Nothing. We're going to talk like adults. And if you give me a solid reason why.
She ruined my life.
Okay.
I have no job
That's
because
fine.
of her.
That's fine. She ruined your life because you didn't divorce her.
No. I offered her a get. She wouldn't take it
Why didn't you take it?
because she's crazy.
That's what he was saying. So I'll call her to the table too. And we'll sit like adults, like human beings. Bring her, bring him, bring your attorney, Rabbi Desser, Shia Desser. I'll come. If they're not going to see, I'll come with my brother. And we'll sit down. You're down to go?
Me?
Yeah, I don't want to get involved.
It's
It's
not gonna
okay.
work.
Get high and come. Just sit there and listen.
You just answered the question for me.
In life, sometimes when we hold back, Benji, and we don't know the power we can
I
do.
stay away from the
That's
Bukharan
true.
community.
It's not Bukharan. You're going to the Sabbath community. I don't give a shit what they think about me. I'm not gonna get involved with them. I'm not gonna marry their children. I'm not gonna let my kids even get to that.
I'll save my
cult.
kids' lives, and then when my kids are adults and they're good, then I'll start saving other people's lives.
No, but
That's a good mentality. That's a good approach.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I would
Because
go.
it takes a lot of energy. You
I
don't
would
know what
go.
you're signing up for.
I would go. You
don't know
put
what
me
you're
to the
signing
I
up
saw
for.
what
If-
my dad
You're
sacrificed. I'm not.
It's
You're
okay.
signing up to give up 30 days of your life on a
What?
10-hour a day project.
Why 30? No. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go one time.
And
Hear him
enemies,
out.
And then
and
you don't.
enemies.
He's gonna say, no, I'm gonna say you're a dog and I'm gonna leave. That's it. What am I
Okay,
gonna
then
do?
what does it do? You need to
I'll
see
leave.
it through. Don't touch it unless you're ready to go to the end.
Exactly.
Hopefully the end is gonna come
That's
that
what
day.
I do. I won't touch it unless I'm ready to go all the way. Sometimes projects take a little longer than not, but there's a reason why on my phone, for example, my phone screensaver is Malky Gold. This is Malky Gold from Williamsburg, okay? She's the one who helped inspire me to create the sex strike,
She was
if
also
you
an
know
Agona?
about that.
She's also an
She's an
Agona?
Agona for 4 years. She just turned 30 years old.
So
she
young.
is
What's this sex strike?
so a sex strike is basically when, just like men use the get as a weapon to hurt women.
Yeah, okay.
But a man can get laid anywhere.
Go ahead. Not from me.
That's fine
I mean,
for me.
sometimes
I
When it is
understand.
for me, I'm like, dude, okay, ooh,
No
what?
problem.
Okay, see,
No problem, so go.
But
we
let me
need to do
explain to you
something else
something.
with sex strike.
Hold
I think
on.
you have a better.
Hold on. Let me.
But a man who's actually Yarei Shamayim and is following Torah and mitzvot
He'll cheat.
will go to his rabbi and say, "What do I do?
So let
She's
me
not
explain
going
you
to the
something.
mikvah."
Let me
Very
explain to you
good.
something. So let's get into this topic. Why do men cheat?
Why do women cheat?
Why do men? I don't know why women cheat. I'll tell you.
Why?
But why do men cheat?
Okay,
Okay,
probably the same reason.
men cheat because they don't get appreciated.
And women cheat for the same reason.
Correct. Now, telling a man, "Hey, man, we're not going to have sex." Okay, so a real man doesn't have sex. Okay, I don't want to have sex because it's a connection with his wife, right? Okay, so if you're taking that away, then what do you think is going to happen? Shalom bayis is going to start hopping up.
Well, hopefully it will create meaningful conversations. The goal is for the husband to say, "Wow, I did not realize how important this issue was to you, that you would disrupt our life of intimacy for a woman in Williamsburg who you never met. So could we talk more about this? What can I do to help?" That's
90% of men won't do it.
Okay, well, for the 10% who will, and the other, 80 who are just helping, I don't
And
know.
the rabbis are okay with this strike you're causing?
So actually, believe it or not, Rev Herschel Tzvi Schachter of YU put out a statement within a day of me making this, or calling for the mikvah strike. And he said that happens to be, there are sources that there were mikvah strikes that took place in villages where the women were trying to apply pressure on their husbands, to apply pressure on the husband to give a get, and it worked.
Never worked on me, man. Much did ever work.
He said,
Never.
however, he doesn't think it should be done on social media by Flatbush Girl.
Because the problem is we're airing out the dirty laundry on social media and they're getting embarrassed of it. So my answer to the rabbis is to avoid getting embarrassed, just let your students release. the woman, and everybody will
because
keep their
they're
mouth
scared.
shut.
They say because they believe the students, or maybe the wife is doing something not so great. Maybe the
doesn't
wife
matter.
is alienating the kids.
But once again, Moshe,
doesn't matter. Still let her go.
Okay, again, there's two sides to every coin, right? You're not just saying that, but holding someone's freedom is wrong.
Exactly.
Period. For 7 years, you want to negotiate it for 6 months, 7 years, dude? No, that's a power trip. That's a power trip.
Well, that's what I said. I told
Because
you.
you know my ex, how getting divorced from her was hell on earth. I didn't hold back nothing, and I walked out on top, and nothing happened. So you want to hold a get 6 months and negotiate the kids, the 7 years, my friend?
Yeah, it's not no excuse.
There's no excuse for it whatsoever. There's no excuse for it whatsoever.
I know, 100%, but there's no excuse.
And that's my biggest fear because I have daughters. And I'm like, dude,
We'll find something by then to modernize this
it's
whole-
like changing 2 days chag. We all know we don't need a second day's chag, right?
Not
But
gonna
why are we
change
keeping
that.
it? Because there's no Rav to be like, you know what, we didn't got to do.
One
What I mean, when Rav Vadia was matir agunot by the Twin Towers, in the yeshivas, they were burning his books.
Yeah, because they
were burning the Abi Omer. Get out of here! This guy, he sat there for days crying, begging Hashem, and he came out with the psak that the agunas are they can get married. There's no way someone survived that. There's no,
Broad
and they
shoulders.
went, and people. What do you mean? The Ethiopians are considered Jews in Israel because of his psak. No one wanted to accept them.
Wow.
And he sat there and he dug and he dug and he dug and he dug and he's like,
He
dude,
always
they're
was talking to
Jews.
Agunas, always.
He's like, they're Jews, they're Jews, they're Jews. They're coming to Israel.
Wow.
Yeah. So when
His son is the chief rabbi now. Rabbi Vadia says so. Yitzchak Yosef. He's a Sephardi chief rabbi. There's Rabbi Lau.
when the Twin Towers fell, right, there's a lot of Yidden in there that didn't know what happened, survived, and the women didn't get a gezna, and no one wanted to give them a heter. And now you're there, he says the story, famous story. He was sitting there for days crying and learning and studying and figuring out, and he came up and he's like, okay, we're going to matter these agunas.
Wow.
And the yeshiva world went
Ashkenazim went crazy. The
bananas.
Satmars went crazy. They went crazy because they. Yeah. But you know what? At least he did the right thing. We have to change something that the men can control the women this way. You know?
I think it's just going to come down to more and more awareness. You know, like it used to be normal. Remember, I mean, you know, they sometimes hit kids in elementary school, right?
We got beat up. We got beat up in our parents' car.
I got my ass kicked.
I remember like yesterday, second grade. Imagine you remember something from second grade. I remember him in my mom's car. Oh, you saw, remember?
Yeah, I got beat up by the rabbi.
And I was like, Mom, what are you watching him? And she's like, what am I going to do? And I turned to him and said, bro, we have each other. Well, from today on, we're second grade. We're alone.
Yeah, that's why
We
we're
have nobody
super
but
close.
ourselves.
That's why I mean him.
Nobody. Because that's what it is. They used to hit you if you didn't listen, right? They used to
Install fear.
install fear inside you so you can they control you with fear. Today in school, if you even yell at the kid, the mom calls them, "Yo, Rabbi, what are you doing?" Right? Today the kids are so soft, but then in the religious schools they would beat you to a pulp. They would wash our mouth with soap. We said, "Shut up!" Remember? What was it? First grade, second grade, they used to come to the sink to put soap in your mouth or whatever.
Rabbi
it is.
Zach's.
Yeah, don't say his
I
name.
don't care. I'm saying he's probably dead. But again,
Right. So I'm saying things change slowly.
right, that was
Like,
the chinuch back then. Today,
that
no
was-
one's getting beat. Right.
So the hope is that it's changing in a way where there's enough conversations happening around the Shabbos table, enough posts going on social media, enough rabbis losing a lot of their glory in the communities, and that men are recognizing and rabbis are recognizing that they should not tell the men to wait until the court date is settled.
So
or
let me
wait
tell you
until
something
the
about
parental
this.
agreement is settled.
So let me tell you how this Sephardim work.
Wow.
You can never shame a Sephardi rabbi because his student, the second the rabbi is it. I'll tell you why. I'm telling
Same
you.
by the Hasidim.
Yeah, you can
The
because
Rabbi Gezuk, that's what the Rabbi
It's-
says. The Rabbi can be a criminal, got caught for whatever it is.
and that's the way the Sephardi.
But it's a good thing too. That means we're a clan and a tribe,
Yeah,
and we
but-
take care of
but
each
the
other.
thing is
it
that
works both
It
ways.
doesn't instill fear in the rabbis and to like, you know, how come they have balls, excuse my language, to let her stay like this for so long?
So that's why you have someone like me who will come in once in a while, but it's very hard to get someone who's in the community but not afraid of being kicked out of the community, cares about the get from a Kabbalistic and spiritual place, but also is willing to fight against it to, you know, like legally and to whatever, and to go to the media about
But
it.
what's the reason that they're? What's their okay? So once someone's out with them, dude, why not giving the get? What's his reason? Because you put me in debt.
For like the Yitzchak,
He
for
took me,
example.
like he
basically
put me in
Abba
debt?
said that he warned her if you go to court for the money, I'm not going to give you again. And she went anyway.
It's not what happened. That's not what happened. They went to Rabbi Belsky's Bezdin in 2017. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, they went to Rabbi
7 years
Belsky's.
ago.
Yeah, 7 years ago. I was just making sure I said the right year. And Shia Desser said, this is a good Beis Din. You're in good hands. And there were 3 Dayanim on the arbitration panel. Rabbi Peretz Steinberg, who's the Av Beis Din of Queens. So there you have like Bukharian representation. Right. Rabbi Kirsch, who is what an incredible guy. He's like a mixture between Hasidish and Litvish, brilliant, straight as an arrow person. And Rabbi Yaakov Feinzeig, who's a lawyer.
Right.
Okay, so this is a great panel. And they come in and Desser tells Yitzchak, you're in good hands. We're going to win. Don't worry. Any money that you brought into the marriage, anything you got or whatever you guys have, you're going to get everything you need. They had about like $150,000, $200,000 somehow, I don't know from where, that they were sitting on, like literally like cash. Okay. Somehow this came from like an inheritance, something. And Desser said, don't worry, you're going to get the money and we're going to get the kids and you're going to get everything. And Goldie's coming into it traumatized. That
why does a man want to raise his kids?
Why does the man want to or not want to?
Why would a man want to raise his kids?
Why do you want 50-50? I don't get it.
I never understood it. Like, what are you fighting for? To lose your freedoms forever?
You're fighting to put on pajamas.
No man can replace a mother, and I explain it to everybody. You cannot replace a mom, whether men think about it or you cannot.
Yes, it's true.
And Moshe, you know I'm very hands-on with my kids. So you know what I'm talking about. You can't replace a mom. You can't.
My son is texting me.
But go on. I'm sorry to
interrupt.
No,
totally. So they signed the arbitration agreement, which is legally binding. The Dayanim listened to all the testimony. He's gay. He's not interested in her. He doesn't look at her on mikvah night. You know, Ona is something that is integral into the ksuba.
Of course.
He's not bringing home money. He's writing 1 mezuzah every week and charging $250 for it. The family can't put food on the table. She's embarrassed. She's being exposed to dangerous situations. And he says his case where whatever his reasons are, I don't know. I'm sure he had some good reasons with Shia Desser. And the Dayanim say that money, it goes to the children only.
So what's the wrong with that?
No one's allowed to touch it. Not Goldie, not him. This is for the kids. And
Perfect.
We are going to watch it and we're going to babysit it and we are going to look at every single transaction and we're going to make the money directly for the children.
Dude,
not for you and not for you.
Okay.
And for the last 7 years, this Beis Din, anytime there's an expense, they look at it, they see what it is, and they'll pay it directly if it's strictly
for the kids.
Related to the kids. In fact, and I'm a little bit violating Goldie's privacy with this, I know she went to him for a dentist situation where she didn't have the money she needed for a dentist appointment
And
for
he said
herself.
no.
And he said no.
Who said no? The rabbi.
Yeah, and I'm saying in a good way. I'm saying he was true.
But do you understand?
And Yitzchak wants that money.
Why?
Back.
It's for the kids.
His. No, it's mine.
Get out of this.
That's the money I want back. Give it back
I'm
to
sorry.
me.
I disagree with that. I'm sorry. I disagree
If they
with
agreed
that.
to go to arbitration, he lost, or they both lost, so that's part of
It
life.
can't be said he lost, and he blames Desser for bringing him to this panel. And now Desser feels so bad that he brought him into that
What do you mean? It's such a win for a man. Your kids are getting your money. Like, what are you working for?
Yeah, you work
For
for your
them.
children. Who cares about the money? You do it again. You're a man. You get up, you make money again.
It's all excuses. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Really? So they left it for the kids, and he doesn't. Wow. Okay. So, but that's
So
all
when
the
they
attention.
so anything about court, that's only because he's not abiding to the arbitration agreement. Exactly how you started. So he says stories that he's leaving out things. And if you want to say, oh, we're leaving things out too, doesn't matter. Give a get. Even if you want to say we're leaving things out, even if you want to say I'm biased, even if you want to say those things, even if you want to say it's not true, it's not the sequence, even if Yitzchak was sitting right here, it doesn't matter. Give a get. Your own children, his own children want it.
His own children came with the poster. I saw on
His
your
own
thing.
children said,
really?
yeah.
He was sitting with some rabbi in the car. Who? That's the Shia Desser
Oh,
guy,
so no,
then?
that's Lieber Friedrich. He's just.
Whatever. Basically, the Satmar. They're Satmar?
He's the driver
Are they
and like
Satmar?
the. Yes, they are.
Listen,
so
man.
Shia Desser
Say whatever you
is
want about the Hasidim,
Scully,
but listen, I'm upstate a lot now. I give them so much credit.
Oh, I love the
They're
Hasidim.
the best, but the rabbi is corrupt. Just say what you want.
Okay, again, but it's by everybody.
Okay.
By
Give the
Litvish, it's worse.
Give the
But
get.
I'm just saying, these guys, man, They're independent. They do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
They have their own fire department. They don't care about. Dude, they're running upstate now for the next 2.5 months. They're running the whole country.
And they're ruining their wives' lives.
No, it's
Well,
not
give a
true.
gift.
the
a
what?
lot. This Hasidic community is not one big
Yeah.
challah pan. First of all,
Does
there's
he have a community,
there's
this
Kfar,
rabbi?
there's Bells, there's Vishnitz, there's Satmar, there's
Does
Bnei
Shia
Yal,
Desser have
there's
a community or no?
Huh?
Does he have a community? Like he's a shul? He's a rabbi?
Shia
of a shul?
Desser,
Yeah.
yes, he davens at the Bucharest Shul on the corner.
Is he a rabbi or he just goes in?
He's a rabbi, but he's not like the leader of a shul. He's more like he gives shiurim.
So we should
He
go to his shiurim and
contributes
start
to
yelling
people
at
writing
him.
svarim. He answers some questions. He does a lot of the work for the bigger dayanim. He's a macher. He's a macher and he's a big shot and he thinks he's God's gift to reality. And you know how many times I spoke to him and warned him? I called him. I said, hey, what's up? I said, your case came to my attention and I just want to let you know you're going to be famous soon. He goes, make me famous. Make me famous. Here you go, Rabbi
And
Sh.
his rabbi on top of him can't do anything?
I called Rabbi A.Y. Deitch 1,000 times, not just me, dozens of other volunteers tried to get through. We can't go to every single rabbi. Like we went to the Tasha Dayan. The Tasha Dayan is a brilliant paisek in Borough Park. He gives a lot of clarity and answers questions that are medically related, and he's very well connected. And he's smart, and he has a lot of influence over Shia Desser. We sent a crew directly to the Tasha Dayan, the Rabbi Landau, and we said, can you tell this guy Shia Desser to tell Yitzchak to give a get? Could you tell him to stop waiting for this 150 that he's never getting? And he said, I'll try. We tried following up. We called the gabbai.
No, it's not normal.
Because a lot of people are like, you know what? There's too many people involved, and a lot of rabbis think they're going to make it worse and make it better.
Yeah,
You
they're
understand?
afraid to touch it.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid to touch
How
it.
much worse can it be?
That's what I'm saying. But then again,
Right.
But then they get down with the dirt.
Right.
They don't want to jump in the mud.
What's mud? They just let her go.
You know how many times?
what's
Yitzchak-
mud? She just dropped 3 bombs over here in the last 20 minutes. You asked me
Yeah,
what's
but,
mud?
the bonds wouldn't come out if you would keep your mouth shut. I mean, and give her a get. Nobody would have known. You'd get divorced and you go do your shit on the side
If
and between you
only
and God.
abuse followed the laws of logic, as
Yeah.
you're suggesting. Abuse doesn't follow logic.
Nobody would say he's gay or something unless they have no choice but to use it against him if he's embarrassed of
I
it.
warned him. I didn't say, I'm going to tell everyone you're. I said, listen, we need to educate the community, and your case exposes what's going on beneath the surface. You pick.
Where does he live?
He lives on Avenue J. We had a big protest in front of his house. He has not paid his Jewish landlord rent in over 3 years.
My God.
We spoke to the landlord multiple times. He said it's a lost cause. He said, I tried. I spoke to him. I begged him.
Get him out.
Every time I talk,
You can't ask New York. Right?
Eviction order. After 3 years, he can get out.
He tried. He filed something. He had to file more papers.
I
He
have
had to
tenants
hire
that
a
have been
lawyer.
18 months not paying rent. Supposed to get evicted 720. Let's see. I guarantee you they won't get evicted. Yeah, dude, welcome.
You're going to have to go to the marshal and literally
Yeah.
bring him to the scene.
And
They
they,
don't
and then
do
they see a
anything.
puppy and they run away and like, no, we have to there's a dog in the house. Come back.
Scene isn't safe.
It's
That's crazy.
but I think having violence and I mean I think talking everything out and trying to sit with people and reason with people is the way to go about it. But it doesn't seem like over here there's a way to reason with anybody out here. If you want to take control of it and get involved in it, get involved in it. But as she said, you have to see it through till the end. You can't walk in one time and say, oh, okay, bye, I'm out. How many people are involved into this now?
When you say involved, you mean his side, her side?
Your side.
Mostly me, with people who respect and listen to me and know that I'm working on this so hard, but you're constantly having to butter people's bread. I have to slip people $100 bills all the time. I can't get a rabbi to take my call unless I give him money.
You're
No
lying.
way. Oh,
I'm constantly doing it. And not in a gross way. I say it in a respectful way, and I understand that they need the money. I think that they're really poor. I think rabbis are broke. I think that they're
Not today.
corrupt because they're broke.
Not today. I don't know what world you live in, my love. No rabbis are broke today.
I don't know. I think they must be very
Hasidic rabbis are
desperate.
for
They're either
sure not
desperate
broke.
or they worship money.
Sephardi rabbis are for sure not. Kesef b'saver and chachamim. It says this is
Nothing new.
the money blinds the rabbis.
But I don't mind using the money. Like, I got into a huge fight with a rabbi the other day who I really need on my team because he really is a name that people respect.
And he,
And he was mad at me and he yelled at me and he said he's never working with me. I had my gabbai drop off an envelope with $1,000 cash.
And he called you back.
Now he still answers my call. It's old news now.
Oh, stop.
Oh my.
It's not even expensive. It's literally not expensive. And you say it's for the shul. This is for what you're helping people with. And imagine if I was withholding a get. All I had to do is put $10K in there. He'll protect my ass forever.
Yeah,
A
makes
lot of the
sense.
get withholders have the rabbis who are helping them on payroll. There is a woman, Adi. She's Israeli. You saw her?
I saw her on your post.
You see her?
What?
I saw her on your
Adi,
story.
she's
On your
she's
story.
Israeli. She
Yeah.
came to the USA when she was 20 years old. She met this guy Asaf. They're Israeli. They had a chuppah, but like she's modern. She wears tank tops. She wears pants.
He's not giving her again.
You know? And the rabbi that married them, Rabbi Mendy Posner from the Chabad community, or who was very instrumental in their marriage, whatever it was, and he brought them into Plantation, Florida, welcomed them into that community. And she was sort of the one who helped develop the relationship between her husband and the rabbi. She's like, let's support the shul. Let's be part of the ruchnius of the community. Let's do hafrashas challah bakes. And Rabbi Mendy and his Rebbitzin were doting on the couple because this is a good funder. This is
Right.
going to help us build our Chabad shul. And then they went through a separation. Guess what? Husband and rabbi ganged up on her. And now she still lives a few blocks away, a few houses away from the rabbi and Rebbitzin. They don't look at her. They don't talk to her because the money's not with her. The money's with him. It benefits them to be connected
And he's
to
not
him.
giving her a get?
And he's not giving her a get for 5 years.
Oh my God.
And he's barely religious. He's barely religious. That's also what sickens
Find
me.
the flaw in
But
his
what's the
ktuba.
excuse?
Find the flaw in his ktuba.
What's the excuse?
Maybe he put the ring the wrong way. Maybe he wasn't for. Maybe
Kedushay
she-
ta'as,
Yeah,
right?
What's
Kedushay
the,
ta'as.
but what's the excuse?
What's the excuse? What's the excuse for, I built the house and she was just the housewife. I mean, go get your own job. I'm not giving you any
But
part of
that's
the
her
house.
job.
You should have gotten a job while you were taking
hold
care
on,
of the
but
twins
I don't
and the other
get,
two
I don't
kids.
get the men. You want your wife to stay home, and then you say, "Oh, it's not her job." That's the job you gave her to do.
Thank you.
Dude,
Thank you.
this is.
That's the whole thesis of
wild
Adi's
stuff.
case.
This is. You know what? Because I'm very, very. I smoke a lot because it takes off my edge. I'm a lot crazier than him. Because I can't. Because I will lose my mind. Like I'm sitting here right now. I'm like,
I laugh a little bit
way.
because I can't live otherwise.
I
I
would
giggle.
lose my mind dealing with these
I've
things
lost
every
my
single.
mind. I've pretty much lost my mind.
What do you mean? Like it's like
Pretty much.
No,
I work
look,
on
I'll tell
this.
you why.
I
I'll tell you
don't
why.
sleep anymore.
Because like the men, right? I love you know. I tell girls today, like my girl, my little girl, and her friends, if they sit and stuff like that. And I told my daughter this. If a guy tells you, "Hey man, you don't have to work. You're good. I'll take care of you." Run.
Exactly.
Run. Never ever try. Just run, because that's the way they control you, right? Then they leave you home with the kids, which is great. You want to do that? You want to live? No problem. But now she wants to leave, or you guys decide to get divorced, and now she did no work for the last 10 years. Who raised your kids? Who took care of your house? Dude, men think they can do it without women.
And
Not
Adi
happening.
begged to go to school. She always wanted to become a beautician and have
Yeah.
a skincare
No,
line.
לא צריך.
He said, how much would you make a month? Let's say you made $15,000 a month. Here's my credit card. Now you could put an extra $15,000 on the card. Stay in the kitchen.
No, hell no. Tell my wife, go.
Why isn't
Bring money, old
the
man.
rabbi getting it's Chabad? I'm surprised.
What do you mean? Why should he get involved? He gets so much money from the husband.
Doesn't matter. You're supposed to be. You can't. You be a mediator in the
What do
middle.
you mean? We need to keep the lights on in the shul. You want everyone else in the
And
community to
Chabad doesn't
suffer?
do anything
Oh,
about
so
it.
wait. So he's like his biggest donor, like something like that? It's very tricky. It's so tricky when it comes to these things.
And I called him. I always call everyone. I called him. I said, this is the rumor.
Why
We're
is it-
finding a lot of people coming out of the woodwork saying that you're obsessed with money. Would you like to leave a comment? Would you like to talk about this before it goes public?
What do you say?
Oh, you're so rude. Now I'm never going to talk to you. You don't know the whole story. I'm like, what story? It's 5 years. It's 5 years, and it's not an isolated case. I had many of his members come forward to me and say that he converted them. You know how at the phase
Right.
when Chabad, they love bomb.
Yeah.
Look how amazing we are. We're going to take you in. We're going to celebrate you. We're one big nation, blah, blah, blah. They convert. And then, okay, the invitations start to fall off a little bit. Now you're one of us.
Right.
Now you get the same treatment. That's fine. I understand that. But then to remind the ger who they are by not bringing them close to your bima, by putting them in the back and treating them like second-class citizens. No, I'm just saying, no.
She's just
I'm
giving
saying
an
in
example.
general that he has, a lot of people have come forward who have said they were gerim and they were mistreated by him. When they had money, he converted them. And when they lost their money, he threw them away. He stays close to the followers who have money. You don't have money anymore. Your requests are not as important. We're not VIP.
What's his name?
Rabbi Mendy Posner of Plantation,
Yeah, I heard
Florida.
of him.
Oh, and one
Mendy
more thing. His
Posner.
wife's niece is an agana
Good.
for 3 years.
So Mendy, what's his name? Posner?
Posner.
P-O-S-N-E-R.
Rabbi Mendy
But
Posner.
so let me explain to you something.
Be a
Adina.
man.
You're
and
saying something very...
Don't
And tell
fall in love.
Asaf to give a get after 5
Tell
years.
us how to give a get, or we're gonna expose you everywhere.
So when I realized this, and this when I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own thing and figure it out on my own. People want to call it rebel, whatever the hell you want to call it. I was in Chicago in a certain school, and I was in 10th grade, and I went to ESPN zone, which was not allowed. And like an idiot, I left because I wanted to show Moshe when I got home, like, dude, look, man, I went to ESPN zone. He was like, oh, what the heck, because we weren't allowed to do these things. So I took the receipt like an idiot, and I left it on my dresser. So my roommate went and snitched to the mashgiach. So they're flying my father down. Yeah, to like, okay, so check this out. So now I pass by the dorms, and I see these two kids like fooling around with each other. So I'm like, you know what? So I take, you remember the 1 hour photos? Remember the one, those
the
yellow?
disposable.
Yeah, so I'm taking pictures, run to the 1 hour photo. I said, listen, I need you to do this. Is something bad here? Blah, blah, blah. Gives me the pictures. I put it in my hat and jacket. I'm putting it in my jacket. My father called, Mom, I'm sick and tired. I said, yeah, come. Let's go. We got to talk to the rabbi now. So I thought I have a hot potato in my hand. I'm going to blow your mind right now. So we're sitting exactly like this. I'm here, my dad's here, and look, my dad, the mashgiach. Rabbi Chaimov, Benjamin, he's going crazy. My father turns to me and says, no, what do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? And I said, I want to show you something, Rabbi. Pull it out. And I just put 4 pictures out. I'm like, look at this.
Of 2 other students
Just finagling with each other.
hanging out.
Whatever. They're doing what they're doing.
Okay.
And he picks up the picture and he's like, again this bacher. He goes, Rabbi Chaimov, you know how it is. His father's the biggest donor of the yeshiva. You know, there's some stuff we gotta. I'm like, whoa. To myself, I'm like, wait. I'm getting sent home for going to ESPN on this guy is doing what he's doing. I'm like, okay, I got it. This is not. And that's when everything decided to go south. For me, like saying, wait, what the hell is this? So that's why you're telling me 25 years later about some rabbi in Florida, and it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. The guy that has the money, it's they're like this in the world too. It's like it's in politics.
It's not a thing just for Yidden.
It's everywhere.
But guess what? We as Jews
Look at
are
Jeffrey
supposed to lead by
Correct.
example. We're
Correct.
supposed to show the other nations the justice and beauty of our Torah. We're supposed to always rise to the occasion and believe that if we do the right thing, the rest will happen. We're supposed to have emunah and bitachon. We're the chosen nation to be the priests of the world. And this is how our rabbis act?
No, shame on them.
Shame on them.
So my new way of, instead of yelling and screaming, which I do a lot sometimes, but I do is I'm like, wait, is this what Hashem wants from us right now? And what's the rabbi can answer you? Yeah?
Yeah, they do.
They
say they have Ruach HaKodesh.
Oh yeah, Hashem doesn't want you to give a get?
Do you know?
Hashem doesn't want you to give a get?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
cool.
Tanker Rav from Borough Park said that the reason why his biggest donor isn't giving a get is because he has Ruach HaKodesh, that the woman lied about certain things that he did.
Okay, so I'll still give her a get. Who cares? She doesn't want you.
No, she's such a bad person. She made up lies.
So
now he needs to use the get to get back at her.
So Nikama is okay.
Yeah.
Right? Revenge is okay, even though it says not to revenge. Right? It says not to talk. That's okay now because the rabbi said.
But you actually listen to what you got in your Torah education. You probably know more Torah in your spirit than another rabbi.
No, we know how to learn. Me and this guy know how to.
Doesn't matter.
We know how to sit down
I don't
and
care
learn
about
with the best of the best.
Oh,
but
you live it.
there's no
It's
way
in your
in-
DNA.
You have to.
There's no way in hell that I'm going to Minyan 3 times a day and doing what these guys are doing. Just because I'm like, dude, what the hell am I? I'm wasting my time going 3 times a day out of my day for what?
And then
You're taking care of the Rabbanon, right? You're running around the Rabbanon. It's all the Rabbanon. And you're going over the rice day after day.
Give a wife.
Forget about the get.
Yeah, it's a mitzvah.
You're sleeping with men. You're cheating. You're stealing. Sarah said, dude, you're done. Don't even go daven, man. Get the fuck out of
So
the
I say
shul.
always go.
Get
I
out of the
always say
shul.
go eat on Yom Kippur. It's okay. You get kares once. Sit there and every day you get an avera. Once a year you get kares, right? Every day you're living for 365 days. You're Messiah of get on your wife. It's an avera. I don't know. You know
But
what?
again, but we're not going to change the world like this.
Maybe you will.
I don't think so.
Maybe you will. Maybe
I
after
think-
he sees this and they're gonna put it out and people are gonna talk. Plus he's Bukharian, so whoever's related to Yitzchak Rabinov, how about if you listen to this podcast to the Bukharians, call him. You should be very proud of your cousin or
Call
whatever.
him and don't be afraid to be a little rough.
Yeah.
As long as you're maintaining distance and you're not getting physical in someone's space and you're not stalking them or contacting them repeatedly, you are allowed to demand that a person do the right thing and stop engaging in domestic violence. His 3 grown children are begging their father to release
How old
their
are his
wife.
kids now?
The oldest is 18.
Nah, but for
Remember Goldie,
7
very
years.
small girl.
Of course, I saw her walking down Main Street the other day.
She still lives here.
No, but I don't know where she lives, but I saw her walking down Main Street the other day. I'm like, oh my God, that's Goldie. Of course I remember Goldie.
Nabach.
I know him made the shidduch also.
Abba. Your father made the shit up,
I
Benji.
know. but listen, at the end of the day, okay, so now the rabbi signed it. Now what's that going to do?
Yeah, at least puts pressure on him.
So now, when the Bukharian rabbis who told me that I don't know the full story, okay, you know how many Bukharian rabbis I
Yeah, for
spoke
sure.
to, and they said to me, "You don't know the full story." I said, "What full story
This
do
is
I need
accepted
to
in the
know?"
Bukharian culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's
In the Bukharian, this is the reason why I left the Bukharian culture and I married Ashkenaz and I moved to the 5 towns and I don't want my kids to grow up like this, because the Bukharian culture, the woman is second class.
No, not anymore, bro.
Yes, yes, anymore.
Not
It's
anymore.
getting
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
better.
Very
Not my
rarely.
generation.
Getting better.
Very rarely.
Not-
I'm going to say it the way it is. The way
Not
I
my
see it.
generation. He's wrong. He's wrong.
Deep
He's
down.
wrong.
They're the same.
No, not our generation. The older generation is different. They came
Please.
to America. They civilized. Don't.
Whatever. For him, I'm very. I'm
getting better.
for him, I'm very Ashkenaz. Because I let my wife. Whatever. It's all. There's 2 different ways. Okay, the Ashkenaz way.
There's gender roles and
Right.
there's equality.
Again, but I believe. So I tell women all the time: if you want the men's rights, you better make sure you have the men's responsibilities. If you want the men's rights, I'll give it to you, but take the men's responsibilities too. You can't take and choose. And same thing with the man. Don't shit on your wife that she's staying home raising the kids. You think it's easier? You stay home and raise the kids. Okay, so that's why. So again, I'm different. I believe that the husband should be involved in raising the kids and help shower the kids. That's me. But in our culture, where we grew up, that the man should be dominant and dominate the house, and the way one controllers in the from Bukharian community is not most people don't, but the ones that do withhold the get for power reasons. You know?
They don't even think they're doing something wrong. They think it's
no,
their.
most
They think
Bukharian men
they're
don't hold the get.
entitled.
No, of course not. Most
Our
Bukharian men don't hold get because they don't care. They want to move on just as much as she does.
Listen, there's no most. Get withholding is not more in one community than the other. It's in every single community. The community. You're right. I guess you're right. You're right. Where the men are the most controlling, generally, is where
In our
the get
community.
is where the get is held a lot.
No, but
I had to deal with a Bukharian get once. The guy said, "You want this get? Drop the restraining order." Never mind the fact that he slashed her tires. He was putting bugs in her car. He was a paranoid that she was cheating on him and is
Fine. Restraining
jealous.
order is better than money. Restraining order is
But she's
there.
leaving you.
But then you know what her lawyer tells her? You drop this restraining order, and if he starts up with you again tomorrow, it's
Yeah,
gonna
you're
be
screwed for life.
very hard to get it back up. You're gonna look like a wishy-washy flake, and then she has to pick, my safety or my freedom. What do I want?
So you make
And
him
the
sign.
rabbis endorse it. Rabbi Haramati, I think, or whatever, maybe it was Rabbi Haramati or another one, and he was like basically told this woman Violet that the only way she's going to get a get is if she drops the restraining order. And she said, how could you do this to me? And you know when she got her get? She got her get when she said, I spoke to my lawyer, and telling a woman to drop a get makes you guilty for witness intimidation. I'm going to report you if you don't give me my get. He ran and he gave it to her.
Good.
So that's what they want the women of Klal Yisrael to turn into. They want Benos Yaakov to turn into women who become demanders. Because that's the only way we can get our freedom. So goodbye to the days where we made challah and we stayed at home and we were knitting things. Now we have to fight for our own freedom and scream at the rabbis all day. It's the only way we get free.
Tell the rabbis to find a way that they can get free no matter what. That's what we guys study Torah all freaking day for.
They won't do B'tel Kiddushin because then the Hasidim are going to say that they're guys.
No, rabbis.
You need Sanhedrin for that. And
There's also Sanhedrin. Benji, stop.
Should we just put it together?
They have all these heterim today. They have all these heterim for the mikvah. This find a heter where a woman can just get the hell out. That's very simple. They can find it. Trust me, put $100,000 on the table to one, then you'll get it on the spot. Rabbis, find it. Let these women go. Don't let them hold hostages. Change with the generation.
Listen, I give a lot of respect to Goldie's father if he's still alive, because if that happened to my daughter, I don't know what I would do.
I mean, she has kids to worry about. And
I don't care, man. I would react a whole different way.
I mean, what happened to the dives where we used to?
I'll react a whole
He was
different way.
actually once physically assaulted by a group of guys near a shul because he was being actually discriminated against for his gender identity, for his identity. And he believed it was because of the get. And he then went and sent like a hazmana or sued his landlord because he thought the landlord hired those people and he still didn't give a get. So whatever you do, he still doesn't listen. You could beat him up and he's still going to say no. It's his only...
You don't beat up for one day.
Right, that's true. But so you know that there was a Rabbi Epstein.
Yeah, they arrested him for that. Yeah.
He got caught. But yeah, he did get
beat
caught.
These guys up in the van. Back in the day.
So someone ratted him out.
One guy ratted him out.
I think there was like a FBI sting operation.
Mm-hmm.
They undercover cops figured out what he
I
did.
remember this.
So I went to him to get a bracha. I actually went to him.
He's out already, don't know.
He's on house arrest in New Jersey.
And basically, he can't even get involved.
I went to him. He was like, "Get out of here! Who are you?" I didn't call in advance. I just went up to the door. Don't ask me how I figured out where he lives. That's this is what I do. I figure out where the people hide.
Wait, so and then what did he say? What do you think? What did he have to say about it?
He said it's a very difficult field to be in. He said it's a lot of politics. It's a lot of salesmanship.
Wow.
It's a lot of stickiness. He said, but you have to stick to what the halacha says. He says, just because you're frustrated, you cannot start taking creative liberties and making things up. You need to follow what the Rishonim and Achronim said. You have to follow the halachas. And he told me a little bit about Rav Elyashiv and what Rav Moshe Feinstein says. And he gave me a bracha, but like he didn't want to talk details. It was more like just a spiritual, connective 2-minute conversation.
So where are we holding now with this thing?
With what? Beating up?
No, with Goldie and what's her name?
We are holding with the fact that we. Honestly, that's why this is part of what here. When you are working on a case, sometimes I like to think of it as a baby that's stuck in labor, right? The contractions are not moving along, the cervix isn't dilating, baby's stuck.
Right.
So sometimes you have tricks to like shake things up. But sometimes if you don't shake, and then you pause on shaking, then baby stops coming again. So this is one of the things that we're doing to try to stimulate the labor, because it's still stuck in the birth canal and we cannot get this get out. They're holding it. Desser, it's a tug of war. Shia Desser and Yitzchak Rubinoff and the rabbis who won't open up their effing mouths because, don't get me involved, stop getting involved, it's too messy.
So all the Bukhari inside now?
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, now
who
he's going
died?
to
Dad
lead
signed,
it.
who else signed?
Rabbi Shmunov signed and everybody else.
Eliyahu Ben Chaim signed?
Yeah,
He's
now
really
they're all
signed?
going to sign. If Chaimov signed, he's
Yeah,
going to.
they always say, let your dad, they always tell dad, you do it first and then we'll
So
have
I
it.
went to the
Until it
house,
was
10 o'clock at
signed.
night. So Rabbi signed. He's like, no, it's not the right paper. I said, call Rabbi Shmunov. I'll go right now. I'll pick it up from his house. Right now, I'm going to go because I couldn't take it anymore. Abba called Rabbi Shmunov.
Probably mom told him you have to do it.
No, mom's like, don't get involved. I said, Mom, relax. Rabbi Shmunov, I was like, Rabbi, he's like, tomorrow I'll be by you at 10 a.m. I said, well, Abba, you're going to him? He's coming to the shul. He's going to come to the shul. He came to Abba. Abba signed. I texted her. He said, yeah. I said, okay, good. I texted Abba at 12
You're the
o'clock.
only one who could. Either two of you're the only ones who could have
I
gotten.
texted Abba at 12 o'clock.
saved
On
the
WhatsApp,
day.
I said, Abba, did you sign? He goes, yeah, I signed. I couldn't take a picture. I was in the middle of praying, but tell her that he has it.
Yeah, you literally saved the day.
And I said, okay.
Now,
Thank God.
so now what we are going to do, because there's a tug of war, right? There's me and all of our advocates and everyone who knows it's the wrong thing. And then there's, Shia, Desser, and Yitzhak on the other side pulling. And it used to be that the Bukharian rabbis were kind of there. They weren't like pulling.
No, but they were. Yeah,
But
they were
there.
playing both parties.
They were playing, exactly. Now we're trying to recruit a lot of them off to our side so that the only two people left on that side is Yitzhak and Shia Desser.
I mean, I think what we should
Why'd
do
you put him in
is-
Chirim?
That's
They
not
don't
gonna-
listen.
It's not gonna help.
They don't listen.
It's not. What's how?
They just come to
Paul
the shul
blast
anyway.
him all over the shuls.
blasted
Put his
everywhere,
pictures.
You would need
He
his
comes from
rabbi to
Minyan,
do it.
He calls Minyan, he throw him out. Why don't you call, what's his name? Rabbi Zvulunov. I'm going to call my brother-in-law.
Gabi.
Yeah. I'm going to call Gabi.
Yes. Anyways, I
right,
have a
guys.
lot of fun doing what I do. I think of myself as a little bit of like a Sherlock Holmes. Just the other night, I spent 12 hours on a stakeout with a bastin in a van parked behind me.
No.
Yes. What do you mean? This is what I do. This is what I do. I was there
you
from
following?
a guy who hasn't given a get in 15 years.
Oh my! The Bezin is behind you.
And the Bezin's in the van, and I'm in my Tesla.
CSI Borough
So
Park.
one second, she told me she hasn't slept with someone in 15 years?
Correct.
She's out of her mind.
She's like 65.
Now, Moshe, for some
She's
women,
65.
Asual Balabala is the real deal. It's
Yes.
and this is what I learned. I learned this in the restaurant game.
Use a condom.
You're like,
Chatzitza.
no, you can't.
Yeah, she
There's
believes. She
ways
really
out of
believes.
Moshe,
Yeah.
it's like
Why?
Yashan and people that are makbid on Yashan and Bishul Yisrael. I'm like, big deal.
Eat poor, give her a gift.
But
you
for
schmuck.
some people, I'm talking about the women now.
Yeah.
For some people, eating kemach Yashan is like eating. If you don't eat it, it's like treif.
No.
But the rabbis also told her that she needs to wait for the get. And
Right.
like I'm saying,
Why?
it's not like the rabbi said, oh, don't worry about it. They just say, wait. And we've been staking him out and we're trying to get him on his
way.
way back home from work. And
He's remarried.
His schedule changes every single
He's
day.
remarried.
No, he's not. He lives alone in like a public house.
Hey, hold on. He's 65.
Hasidish?
He's first of all, he's Persian.
Oh, wait.
Where do you
Hold
live?
on.
In Brooklyn?
He davens. He lives in Flatbush, and he davens.
And his
in
kids don't get
Borough
involved?
Park. He hangs out with all the Satmar
Wait,
football guys.
where's his kids? His kids got to be in their 20s or 30s.
Yeah, his kids they're all married.
and they don't take their
Besides
mom's
one.
side?
They are. They're trying. He won't answer them. He ignores them.
His
He-
kids?
I'll beat my dad to Paul.
He
Excuse
doesn't
guys,
want to
I know
give
he's behind.
it.
If
He
you
makes
hold my mom
excuses.
hostage.
I'll give it one day. I'll give it tomorrow. I gave it yesterday. I don't know what based to call.
How much of a narcissist can someone be?
It's also a shtickle mental health problems. It's not only diagnoses that are personality based. It's also diagnoses that are chemical imbalances in the brain. I'm not saying necessarily for this guy, but in general, like it can be one or the other. I told you there's the cowardly get withholder.
Right.
There's the angry get withholder. There's the get withholder who has severe mental health issues. There's the ones
But
who
then
have
the Kedushin is not even considered Kedushin
so
if he's
that's how
mentally
you
ill.
can potentially do, but then you have to prove, was it there
Right.
before?
The whole Gemara about it, yeah.
Was it, right? Is it mekach ta'os?
Right.
Right.
Or is it mum gadol? Is it something
Right.
that developed during the marriage or before? If it was before, did he know and withhold it? Did anyone else know and withhold it? It's a whole protocol.
Arab Shimer got a whole thing about it. It's very, very interesting. Listen, what I think is, what you're doing is great, but I think we'll get more traction in whatever we do is, and I'm learning this on myself because I'm a hothead galore. And he knows I'm a hothead galore. And my father's teaching me this every day, is that right? You hear people and you got to talk calm, and it's hard to talk calmly and rip because you want to rip that guy. Someone lies to me, I want to rip your head off in front of you right now. Don't lie when you talk to me, right? But I think if a sit down is made with the rabbis, a real sit down is made with the rabbis,
It's been
lishma,
tried.
with the
They don't
Bukharian
listen to
community.
anything but screaming. They're the
Bukharian
same thing
community.
like the get
No, I'm not
withholders.
talking about you. I'm talking about like you can get like real askanim. I don't know who's askanim in the Haredi
Who's
world.
going to get? Watch the words. You could get. Who could get?
Which rabbi she's asking?
No, who's going to
you-
do this coordination? Who's doing this project that you're laying out right now?
Moshe, why don't we speak to Dad and have him sit with all the Bukharian rabbis?
Okay, you know how much time you're talking about? It's going to take you a year.
Yeah, they're all of a sudden busy. Oh, I can't come this
It's
day.
a project that is a year of your life. It's not a Sunday. It's not a 1 week project. It's a year.
So that's not even
project.
important to anybody then. They don't even give a damn. They act like they care and they don't really care.
Exactly.
Rabbis,
'Cause
if-
it's their
I know,
little-
I
it's
know
their
they're
control
watching. I know
item.
people are watching. Rabbis, if you watch, I'll talk to my dad. I'll put it together with my brother. Come to the table in anybody's house, anybody's shul. If whoever wants to go to their shul, doesn't matter, and do something about it.
Unless they get an invitation, they're
You
not
have
coming. and
Goldie,
even
who's
then they
not
won't.
gonna from a Bukharian man and a Bukharian woman, and it's our responsibility to make sure she gets her release. So that's all I have to say.
They
I
also
don't
like
know
to
what else I
blame
can say.
people. They'll say things like, well, we were going to get involved and we've been working on it for a while, but now that Flatbush girl turned it into a whole
Yeah.
scene,
That's what they told me.
now we're not getting involved anymore.
Right.
That's like number one thing that happens. And very often I'll try to prevent it by calling in advance peaceful, and I'll say, I'm about to go public and make a scene. So you want to do something peacefully now? I'm at a levaya. Call me back. I'm like, you know that gittin is more important than burying a dead body?
Right.
Because a get, you can, because a minute could come and then it's gone. Sometimes a husband wants to give a get. One Tuesday at 12 o'clock, he's in the mood. And then guess what? If you miss that window,
That's what they say. You go right now.
But you know that's why a Kohen has a get kosher. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
12
right,
10.
with the,
Because they're so angry that they change their mind 1,000 times when they get divorced.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it's because the woman can't remarry. I thought it was because he can't
Also,
marry a
right, and he-
That they want it to
But-
come down.
And also,
They hear that.
Kohanim are known to have anger problems.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, the Gemara talks about it. Okay, so how do we sum this up?
Maybe I'm a Cohen.
I don't know, man. I got.
We sum this up is let's everybody who has the power, who's watching, who knows Goldie and Yitzchak, reach out to him, share on your page this podcast and this information you guys know. Go to your rabbis and make sure they help her get. And if it's going to be 20 rabbis against Desser and Yitzchak, eventually they're going to cave in. It's the only way we can do it.
Rabbits and last words.
I'm really, really impressed with you guys. You know, in your own
appreciate
way, you are carrying on your father's legacy in your own way, and in your own leadership style. And I think that the Chaimov legacy is still in its full glory.
No, we make our own legacy. I
Yeah.
appreciate it though.
And I think that, you know, I can't wait to see you guys continue to be activists for, it doesn't even have to be agunot. It doesn't have to be even for the women, but just for a speedy get. Think of it-
Justice.
just justice and a speedy get and rabbinical accountability. And I appreciate you
It's
guys so
so
much.
scary.
I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank
coming,
you for
guys.
coming. It's so
men,
scary.
be men. Don't hold your woman hostage. Let her go. And if she's meant to be yours, she'll come back.
It's a mitzvah to get remarried.
Yeah, you divorce, you get remarried tomorrow.
I know I'm Mekayim and Betchilu Rechimu, as they say.
No, marry
Good
the girl you
Shabbos,
divorced.
everybody.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Thank you. Adina, thank you for coming.